really miss?
Okay, when I look at TV shows like Family Circle, one of the things I really loved was the fact that that show made you feel like you could be together with your family. Your family could handle stuff together. You could, when there will be issues in the home, and then you just watch and then you look back at your family and you say, oh, I want this in my house. And and then you're like, mommy, that thing you watched that day. It brought this togetherness, and it brought this us wanting to learn more. We learned a lot. We got to learn a lot, maybe from experiences we saw, and then we knew how to deal with it in our own personal lives. And then I need to know, then I was pretty young, and I had some questions. In our generation then we didn't really talk about sex. So these were movies that we could watch that we could
I'm not sure my mom ever sat down to teach us about sex education. My sisters were telling me days ago that she was quarreling with my mom that my mom never got us sex education. But I'm like, it has passed. Not blaming the woman. She did, but you talking about these shows, how it really gave us awareness as girls and all of that. Silver, how was it like for you? Like your favorite moment? What you felt these shows were to you?
Like I said, I really liked Binta and Friends because it was educative. Yes, there was always something to learn. What I really miss about TV shows of the past, not that I'm saying that the ones of the present now do not have moral lessons, but there are always moral lessons. There's always something to learn. Like there was this episode I watched on Binta and Friends when they were trying to initiate her into witchcraft with eggs. And then I was always conscious. I never eat outside. I never eat outside because I'll be scared. And in that episode, they told her to just kill her father, not her. So maybe when I eat outside now, they'll tell me to kill my daddy. So it taught me a lot. I had to be careful, and then I was always, because of the way the stories, it makes you love your family more because you're always together with your family. You're watching. There's just this. The movies, they make you conscious of your family. They just keep you guys closely knitted because you're always, it was really amazing.
If you didn't watch all of this series like the way we did, I think it's high time you should be having children. We don't have children now. We know why we don't want to have children now, but if you're not in the millennial age, come on, you really missed out a lot. So Throwback, what changed? What changed in terms of this TV shows? Because we could know that these TV shows, I feel personally that TV shows, the content providers of then and the content providers of now should probably have a board meeting. I know times has changed, but we could still relate a lot. These stories were stories that we could relate to our everyday life, and they were applicable. Like what you said in terms of the whole sex education thing. There were things that our mothers never told us, but we watching them on TV, we were able to apply them. Except when we were told that if a boy touch you, get pregnant, which is not true, basically. But there were other things that we could learn as times changed and all of that. So what do you miss now in our present day and age?
Well, I would say what I miss is that time where family did come together to watch TV shows. I don't think it's that much anymore as it used to be then. What we have now is people marrying their phones. And I feel that children of this age do not have the experiences we had, because they rather just stay with their laptop or stay with their phones, and they're pressing, and they don't get to share family time. And they're like, mommy, I want to watch TV. I'm doing something on my phone, and then it doesn't give that bond. I think a lot of things have changed, and times have changed definitely, and so we need to learn how to adjust to these times, being that our generation is quite different from what these people are used to. That's what I think. Times have changed, technology has come, things are different, people think differently now. Things happen.
We should have just one TV.
Exactly. Yes.
But now there's no daddy room, mommy room, children room.
There's no smartphone.
You're watching what you don't like, let's just go to my room. So you just had no choice. Even if you didn't like the news by 9, you just have to watch Newsline. At the time, Silva, what was it like for you? What do you miss?
Just the same thing Ejiro said. I miss the togetherness, because right now I'm also guilty. If I don't like what's playing on TV, I'm going to my room and then I'm using my phone. So I don't think the issue is with the content, rather the issue is with individuals. Yes, personally, now that we have smartphones, we no longer want to watch what's on TV. So the issue is not with the content. The content is still intact.
Do you feel the content of then and the content of now, they're the same thing?
Yes, it is. It's just urbanization. And since, yes, the content is still the same. Like an example, I need to know, give sensitization on sex education and HIV. It's same thing as sugar. Sugar does the same thing now. So the content is still the same. The message is still the same. It's just that it has been urbanized to fit in with today's society. So there's nothing really different about it.
Not really different. So it's just like the
same content.
So the issue is
different generation, different people with different mindsets.
What is this generation missing that we didn't miss?
They don't have togetherness.
They don't have togetherness.
No. No, they don't.
So what basically can be done about it? Because if there is a problem, there should be a solution. So are you saying that we should have our one TV back? Are you saying we should follow social media?
No.
So what's it like? Because I know that we had fun. And this rich TV history, when we look back, we're proud and say that our TV history in Nigeria is one that we can boast of and say that it has really helped lots of, especially in the millennial generation, not the Gen Zs, but this Gen Zs, but our generation basically, we could learn one or two, and like I said earlier, they are very related. So what is this generation missing? You said it together now. How can we get back on track?
Things have changed, that's one. And as much as we want to say social media is taking your attention, it has its own advantage. And basically everything that happens has advantages and disadvantages. So what I think that it's a deliberate thing. We're dealing with human beings. If you don't want to be together, you will not be together. So what I think is this generation should look forward to spending time together, because the truth is, take time away from your phone and spend it actually having a conversation with somebody. You'll be amazed that you actually are excited about having that conversation because there's genuine interest. So take time out, be deliberate about it. Let parents now, for the children growing up who they just buy smartphones for, and then that's all they know. Oh, I want to play a game, I want to be on Facebook and all that. Let parents deliberately, bring that togetherness back to their children and say, oh, we always have this time, this family time together. But for us it happened by default because there was no option. But now families have to be deliberate about it and say, oh, this is family time. If there's a particular TV show or there's a movie you guys can just watch together just to foster. So your children look forward to those times. And then when they grow up, they're like, oh, we have these special times and this is what made my childhood beautiful for family bonding.
I think you're right, because those days when we used to watch super stories, I and my sisters, we just sit and my mom, and when we sit down in the parlor and we're watching, my mom started drawing life lessons. So we started learning wisdom at very early age. So like you said, the family. Siva, what do you think about it?
I definitely the mindset of the children of this generation or the people of this generation should be worked on. Parents should try to enforce that that consciousness, or for them to want to be together, for them to share family moments together, because I think it's really affecting this generation in the sense that whenever they're out there, they don't really have much to talk about except it's on the smartphone. If it's not on the internet, you don't have anything to talk about. So they should create the awareness for the family to come together and always watch TV together, like Ejiro said.
Aside not just watching just TV, I feel like you said, in terms of talking together, like we could sit now and we could have conversation. Right now we're relating throwback on TV shows that we watched. Even though I was in the West, you were in the South, and you were in the North. And now we're sitting together years after, and we're talking about shows that we could relate to at our young age and things that we literally learned, basically. So generations of this time, they try to not have conversations. I've seen people just, what they talk about is Instagram.
Yeah, and then people be in the same room and they're supposed to be in the same room and then just like this.
I went for a talk show in Lagos then, and I sat, because when I enter, I like to observe, basically, and when I sat there, I saw that we were up to 30, I was the only one that pressing my phone, because everybody was just doing the whole, and and like you said, there was no conversation. Everyone was Snapchat or this or that. So, what do you think that what TV shows can you recommend that we can start watching now? Because I know there are a lot, but we are not aware.
I think another issue is the
We are
fact
not even aware of the current TV show, except
Yes.
Jennifer's Diary,
Exactly.
or the Johnsons that I watch. I'm not aware of other shows that happen. So if you know, you could share.
okay, we have Tinsel, we have Hustle. Hustle is really, really interesting.
Okay.
Yes, and then we have This Is It.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard about it. This
That's
Is
why I
It.
said there are many TV shows that we are not aware of compared to when Nigeria will come to a standstill those years.
I think the issue is because right now there are many TV channels
There are other things that take your time.
yes, Go TV. We don't really have like in the past it was just NTA and maybe
agree.
Prayer TV, your state
local
yes,
station.
your local TV station. So you don't have a choice. You must watch those channels. But now there are diverse TV channels with
Options.
different contents. So individuals have different options. So at a point you might not really be watching the same thing the next person is watching because of the availability of different contents. Yes.
Right. So which one would you recommend for me? If I say I want to go home today now, Siva, and I want to turn on my TV and say, okay, I'm going to watch. I want to start following one TV show.
Hustle,
Why?
because it's interesting. There's drama and it's just interesting. I just like it.
So hustle.
Yes, Hustle.
Adrian, what do you think we should do now? Do you want to go look for TV shows?
I already watched the Johnsons.
Did you like
then
it?
again, I would like to get other TV shows. Maybe, but I will source for. And that's what I'm going to
Try Hustle.
You just seem to like a hustle. I mean,
If I try and it doesn't work, girl, you really.
No, it's interesting. It really is.
Okay.
okay.
So just hustle. Also, that is. But I love Jennifer's Diary.
I
There
like-
was a time in Nigeria where Jennifer's Diary was like the in thing.
Yes, and then everybody was trying to speak like her.
I had a case study of someone in OAU that literally had this project on Jennifer's English
Wow.
because it was like a remodification of the Yoruba pidgin English. So he had his thesis on that. So because Jennifer's Diary for me was a little bit relatable to the past where we were coming from. So he was like the mediator of this generation and our generation. So we're able to really relate so much to it, like so much to it. I really love talking about throwbacks basically. Any other throwbacks you could remember that you loved those years?
Tales by Moonlight.
Please.
We had Tales by
Did you
Moonlight.
watch Tales by Moonlight?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. It was that time where everybody they should an NTA and
Okay.
then an elderly man comes and then shares story with children.
Okay.
It was really funny.
So I missed out on that one.
Yeah, and you know why Tales by Moonlight was very interesting was because it gave it talked about morals. You know how you hear stories about tortoises,
And then they
you hear stories about tortoises being greedy, and then they warn you and tell you, do not be greedy. They will ask everybody, what is the lesson of this story?
Do not be greedy.
We had such days.
Oh no, that's great. So what did you watch in the North basically?
Yeah.
I think I watched practically the same thing you guys did. Super Story.
Did you watch This Life?
Yes, now this life is
Even
beautiful.
something.
No, I did.
I
It
think
was
like what you said basically it was about having the one channel thing.
yes.
So everybody in the country could literally relate to one story as
No,
it is
yeah.
aired in that same time. Like MTA earnings in Lagos, your earnings in Edo State, your earnings in Kano. So we're watching super stories and
All round.
all around the world. Now
At the
that
same time.
now the technology has gone further basically. So it was fun. So last words concerning TV shows, content, lifestyle.
Okay. The TV shows back then were really lit. Very, very
Should we bring them back?
interesting. No, I think, like I said, it's still the same thing. I keep saying it's still the same thing. I just think we should, learn to relate more to it.
Okay.
Yes. And then basically, there's still moral lessons. So as individuals, we should try to limit our phone usage and then try to spend more time together with our families, watching TV shows.
Would that happen?
It will really help. Because if you look at the children of this generation and then we, the 90s children, we are more, you know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'll say that there's so much to learn from because at the end of the day, it's not just the TV shows; it's also the togetherness. It's what it brought for us. It's what we learned, and so as much as possible, let us focus on creating that bond. It has to be deliberate for us, and then bringing it to the really younger generations. Let families look for ways to make sure that their children are together, and just don't always be on your phone. We have to spend this time together.
Yeah.
You can have movie nights together. You can have times where you just foster bonding. You can just then pick a particular show and say, oh, I think we all like this TV show. Let's all watch it together, just to foster the bond. Because, like you said, content hasn't really changed. It just improved. It just became better. Maybe better videos, better pictures and all that, but basically content is the same, different background. So what we need to do is create that bond time, be deliberate about it, and then also those that are growing, you need to be deliberate. Sometimes do not look at your phone, talk to the person sitting down by you, say hi, just have a conversation that will make you feel
together.
Alright, so you've heard it from my ladies and I this morning on the Breakfast Show. We've talked about the throwback TV shows. We can no doubt say that we are the 90s children, we've learned so much and it had values instilled in us while we could relate to those TV shows that we watched growing up. In any way, find a way to bond with people around you, communicate, talk with people around you. And for TV shows, I promise to watch more these days. That's if there's time. I'm going to watch it more. Alright, this is the time where we have to come to the end of the Breakfast Show. So sad, but we'll be here same time tomorrow on Healthy Living. And probably next week we're going to do something, another throwback, basically. Thank you so much. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is TSL Nigeria Space TV on YouTube as we're growing our YouTube family. And follow us daily on the Breakfast Show for much more exciting content. My name is Neki Moye. God willing, we'll be here at the same time tomorrow. Ladies, it's a bye for now.
Bye.